to the moon and beyond. Artemis 2 launches tonight, weather permitting. As of this recording and live stream, we're going to the moon and beyond again. Not going to land, but going to ricochet around there, and it freaking matters. Yes, it does. You might have grown up like I have for most of my adult life. We'll never go to the moon again. It's too expensive. There's no need to. Yes, there's a need to. We are explorers. It's too expensive. Yes, it is. But we need to always be inspired with our science and discovery. Always. And that's going to happen tonight. So details on that moon launch tonight. I'm excited. But more details on something not huge, huge for a huge win for election integrity. So big and so good that even Democrats are on board. Just kidding. They're freaking crooks. But we'll give you the details of what President Trump signed yesterday. Can I just throw this in there? I didn't say this out loud. I've been thinking this for weeks. Every time, and by the way, the SAVE Act is still in play, if those idiots in Congress can get their heads out of their asses. Every time President Trump talked about the SAVE Act, it's almost as if he was winking and nodding, like there was a backup plan. And I think we know what the backup plan now is, with an executive order that just throws it to the states. States control elections on their own. Always have, always will. And this is a brilliant plan to make sure that mail-in ballots are secured at the state level. And he always had this plan. In fact, when he was talking about this executive order yesterday from the Oval Office, Howard Lutnick was explaining it, and Trump literally looked at everybody and winked. This was always in the works, plus the SAVE Act. We'll get to that as well. But thanks for finding me. I appreciate you. Wicked Radio live stream and replay on X and YouTube and Facebook, audio podcast as well, wherever you like to get those. Usually posted just before 9 a.m. as soon as we're done. But let's get right to it. Before we go to the moon, let's go to the Oval Office. Howard Lutnick, just mentioned him, presidential advisor, explained it very well. Bear with me. This is long, but it's a great explanation of exactly what this executive order does. Audio-only listeners, you can't see President Trump wink, but if you're watching here on the replay or the live stream, if you can, take a look at President Trump's face when Howard Lutnick is explaining this. Trump literally winks. This was in the works the whole time. Here's the details.
The states, right, run these elections. They will, if they want to use the U.S. mail, the U.S. Postal Service, they're going to get a code, a barcode from the U.S. Postal Service, and they're going to put that on the envelope, and we will have one envelope per vote. None of this time where we have no idea, there's no observers to mail, there's no envelopes, there's no certainty. That's all going to go away, and what the president is doing today is he's going to make sure that mail-in ballots are safe, secure, and accurate, and will have a clear distinction. If you voted by mail, you will have it on the envelope. Obviously not on the ballot, but on the envelope. So we will know 1 million mail-in ballots. There'll be 1 million envelopes, and you'll be able to know exactly, correctly, that citizens voted.
Simple, right? I mean, a lot goes into this, the technology, but we're the most technologically advanced country in the world, despite what CNN tells you we are. Should have been done decades ago. Think for a second, when could we have instituted this? When? If they wanted secure elections. How many decades ago? I'll be nice to them and say 20 years ago. They should have been in place for 20 years. Full years. Maybe longer. Could have done it longer. But there's a reason why it wasn't. After Howard Lutnick got done, and he went on for like 2 more minutes after that, and even Trump starts this off with his own explanation. He goes, well, after all that. Did you catch him wink? Here's the Trump explanation right as he signed.
So with all of that, I'm very happy to be signing the voter integrity, and I think it's going to be really great. So if you don't mind, I will take some time, and I'll make this signature absolutely perfect. So it looks very good.
And then after he signed it, he holds it up and he shows everybody, and there's clapping in the room. And then he went on to talk about some of the legal experts that kind of, put this all together. And I'll say it again, this has been in the works for a long, long time. Not the only plan. Like I said, I think the SAVE Act, Save America Act is still in play if you can actually get these absolutely useless handful of rhino Republican senators on board and figure out what they're doing to get their heads out of their asses. But this was a plan in the works, I would bet you, even before he actually announced he was going to run again for the third time, excuse me. Plan in the works. He said, if I'm going to do it, we're going to get this thing, and it's going to be huge. So, with that, you heard the Howard Lutnick say, to make sure that with mail-in ballots, Americans are safe and securely knowing that their ballots are counted and only Americans are voting. A plan so simple, a plan so obvious and common sense that even Democrats would be on board. No, they're freaking crooks. They're not on board at all. Let's check in. Let's just go. Let me peruse some of the X accounts this morning and as of last night for some of the prominent Democrats. A lot of these are from Arizona because, well, Arizona's like Florida used to be with state elections that controlled federal elections. Not very secure at all. Let's see. Senator Mark Kelly, ironically, a former astronaut and the current little corrupt garden gnome in the great state of Arizona. The federal government doesn't get to tell Arizona how to run its elections. Well, no, you should run your elections and make sure they're secure. Vote by mail in Arizona is secure. Voters from every corner of the state and every political viewpoint have used it for decades to elect Republicans and Democrats. Yeah, but recently it's not so secure, you little dope. Governor Katie Hobbs, Arizona. Oh, it's interesting that she would chime in if you paid attention to their elections, state and federal. Not so secure recently. Only citizens vote in Arizona elections. Are you sure about that one? Chucky Schumer. I won't play the audio if there is any. I'll just read it for you. See you in court. You will lose. Again, juxtapose it. To make sure, as Howard Lutnick said, to make sure that elections are secure, Democrat response from the minority leader, see you in court. What do you have to be afraid of, Chucky? If they're secure, you should see them in court. You should want all of this stuff safe and secure, right? We know better. Hakeem Jeffries. What's Dollar Store Obama saying? Republicans are complete phonies with their voter suppression scheme. Okay, right. More on that in a second. Gavin Newsom, California. Well, we're challenging it. See you in court. Notice the same wording, the same propaganda all the time. And one more thing, and she actually spoke up about it last night. Nancy Pelosi. What does she have to say about this? She'll be on board, right? She loves her country, right? She has to. She loves her home state of California. She wants secure elections. Again, we know better.
We always have concerns, but with this president and these Republicans who have no commitment to the rule of law and doing things the appropriate way, we're ready. We have three purposes now. One is to win the midterms. Two is to make sure the elections are safe. And three, to tell people what we will do when we win. And that.
Oh, you know what they'll do. Get ready for almost complete destruction of everything that you love about this country. That's how determined they are. And she's right about that. That's their goal. I almost forgot about her role in this whole thing because, let's face it, she's extremely old. She doesn't look too good. She doesn't sound good, but don't kid yourself. She is still the person who dictates all the talking points, all the same talking points. We realized this about 4 or 5 years ago, that send it out to, she's the Democrat overlord that sends out the messaging to all their lackeys in the mainstream legacy media. So, with that said, you know exactly what's going to happen today. You know what I'm going to say. It happens every single time. The word will go out. Here it comes. See you in court. Republicans trying to rig elections. This is unconstitutional. All the same crap, all the same talking points. Just get ready for it today, and you know it's coming from the same people. They're saying the exact same things, and they're using the same media outlets to tell you all the crap. When it was them that don't want to secure elections. Same game. They may not be able to do anything with this. This is massive. While, keep in mind, this is an important part of this whole factor. Yes, for mail-in ballots, and yes, it's going to take a lot to get this done, but they got time to do it, and they will. It's a brilliant plan while the Save America Act is still in play. Remember that. Let's get to the good news. We got a rocket launch tonight. I was told for years, since I was a kid, you may have too in your science class, we'll never go to the moon again. I know we're not going to the moon this time. We're going to it and beyond and then ricocheting back and coming back. It's all about going to Mars. It's Artemis 2. I was always told it was too expensive. I was always told there's no need anymore. What else are we going to get out of the moon? Why else do we have to? And you always hear that thing. We don't know enough about the oceans. We should yeah, true. But it's very, very important that our science and technology, students, leaders, professors, it's always important to be inspired. Is it expensive? Yes, it's expensive. Of course it is. But there's also great, great benefit. You need to inspire people with things like this, like Artemis 2. Tonight, it launches. Here's the promo video and what it's all about.
The Artemis 2 mission is a test mission of the Orion space capsule. Artemis 2 will be the first time we put humans on this rocket.
We're going back to the moon because it's the next step in our journey to Mars.
We were always going to the moon.
Pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. That's a part of being a human.
And liftoff!
I think that was the most important statement in the entire thing, besides the cool video and the sounds, and this is a big one. This is a big rocket with humans on board, so it's exciting. This is cool. Don't underplay it. We have always been explorers. We're always pushing beyond. This is something Elon has always said, too. We always have to take the next step, always. Here's some details on the launch. It is from Florida tonight. Again, weather permitting, as of right now, on Wednesday morning. Everything's a go. This is from Visit Florida, which is actually a pretty good X account follow for tourism stuff if you're coming to Florida or if you live here. Here's the detail. Artemis 2 scheduled to launch from Kennedy Space Center, so it is a Florida launch, as early as 6:24 p.m. That would be tonight. 2-hour launch window, runs through 8:24. You kind of heard this in the video, but the mission will send astronauts around the moon for the first time since 1972. Again, my whole life I was told this will never happen again. And the mission will take the crew the furthest distance that humans have ever been from Earth. Don't downplay that. That's big. That's really big. Can you imagine how exciting that is for one of these crew members? I'm one of 4 people that's gone further than any human has ever gone before. Sounds like a Star Trek promo, but Nation of this is again from Visit Florida. We recognize and celebrate incredible milestones of human achievement, such as this, many of which continue a long legacy of exploration rooted in Florida's Space Coast. Yes, good for you, Visit Florida. That is a feather in your cap. So much has been happening in Texas. It's very important. The Space Coast of Florida, I can speak to this personally because I've been living down here for a while. Before, again, giving credit to Elon here, before SpaceX actually developed a lot and started working hand in hand with NASA, it was dying. You could buy on the Space Coast, beachfront condos for like 30 grand. Boy, I wish I had done that now. Now it's booming again. And I don't think, even though this is a NASA mission, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this happens unless somebody like Elon and SpaceX puts a lot more interest and therefore money and funding and attention to space exploration again. So, good. I think it's great. I think it's great for our space program. I think it's great for our students. I think it's great for human beings to be inspired again. And yes, this is an American mission. And let's hope they're all safe. Here's the CNN. I wanted to save this for you, just play this, because here's CNN's clip for it, right? Now, here's a classic example of legacy media and how they try to rain on everything, right? Everybody should be inspired. It's a great thing. It's awesome. So they bring on Jared Isaacman, the new NASA administrator, Elon's buddy. So there's that partnership again. So they're talking about all the great things that could happen. What are we going to get out of this? What's the next mission? Let's hope that this is successful. What's going to happen? Nope. What's their number one question? Is there anything that could delay the mission? They're such...
Is your team tracking anything right now that could stand in the way of liftoff tomorrow?
Well, I'll tell you, it's an extremely complicated rocket that we have out on the field, so we are monitoring it constantly. But if you ask me at this moment, the rocket is healthy, the spacecraft on top of it is healthy, the crew is here and ready to go, and the weather's looking good.
CNN never ceases to amaze me. Absolutely amazing. Because you know how this is how this went down. There's some news director in the newsroom in that guy's ear going, try to find the negative. Try to ask him if something could go wrong. Try to downplay this thing and the success unless, God forbid, something does go wrong. So let's pray for him. Exploration, inspiration, science, technology. It's important. We are explorers. It's a great thing that happened. I can't wait to see this thing. I hope I can see it. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for finding me. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to make this an early one today, a short one, because there's a lot of things we could be talking about. I'm going to push off till tomorrow because this is the rare instance we focused on 2 very positive stories. I don't want to have any negativity today. It's midweek. We all need some positive stories. Hopefully tomorrow we're talking about an amazing Artemis launch and the election integrity. But again, the takeaway is watch out for the media spin directed by the Democrats. So, Trump's trying to overturn elections. You get ready for it because it's coming, but you know better. All right. No negativity today. We'll save that for tomorrow. along with some Artemis stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's pray for him. Thanks for finding me and the replay on X and YouTube and on Facebook. Audio podcast about to be posted shortly. Wherever you'd like to get those, make it a wicked awesome Wednesday. Go Artemis, be inspired, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.